We already had a look at bequiet's Lightwing 120 and Lightwing 120 Highspeed. Very good fans, very airflowy, much pressure, the good stuff. But now it's time to go big. Meet the bequiet Lightwing 140, the big brother of bequiet's RGB case fan. Just like it was with the Lightwing 120, those here exist in two different versions, a high-speed one and a not so much high-speed one. And in case you haven't seen the dedicated review about the Lightwing 120s, there are way more differences than a simple high-speed adjective would describe. But today it's all going to be around the regular version, the slower version, the quieter version, the case fan version. This one comes with 7 very thick wings which are heavily optimized for airflow, creating a fan that is definitely built for some case airflow action. Similar to the smaller 120mm light wings, this design is not new. In fact, it's pretty old and tested. For the last few years, bequiet used this exact design on top of their Silent Wing 3, a group of fans which is highly optimized for cases. Getting back to the fan, there are some specs that we should have a look at. Ignoring the obvious 140mm form factor, those Lightwings 140s are spinning at 1500 RPM while it's pushing about 56 CFM at 1.49mm of H2O. You can get those in two different packages, either as a standalone fan or as a triple pack. In the standalone version, you will get what you would expect, the fan and a bunch of screws. For the triple pack, however, you will not only get 3 of those, but you will also get a SATA-powered RGB hub. Now, I already said during the Lightwing 120 high-speed review, this is a hub, it is not a controller, it is spreading a signal that you yourself provide over a 3-pin RGB header, and it is spreading it to up to 6 of these simultaneously. Although it is not bad to get one of those, I think bequiet does a really stupid investment here. You see, those fans are powered using a 4-pin PWM header, which is fine, I love PWM. PWM is superior to the 3-pin voltage controlled one. However, the RGB on these fans is coming over a 3-pin RGB header, which comes with its own little splitter attached to it. So out of the box you can hook up one of these fans to the other one and then create a chain of RGB little fans and then connect everything to a single RGB header on your motherboard. The fan spinning PWM connection, on the other hand, well, good luck. We do not even get a 50-cent PWM splitter cable in the box. So although the RGB hub is a nice to have, the fans inherently have the same function, so it is kind of useless. But the PWM does not have any sort of splitter, so it would make so much sense to have a PWM hub instead of an RGB hub. But quickly dialing back for a second, both cables are 500mm long, which is quite long considering today's average. Now onto the eye candy part. Identically designed to the 120mm counterparts, those Lightwings 140s look gorgeous. Around the fan we have that slightly protruding RGB ring, which this time got 2 LEDs more, totaling them at 20. Of course, none of the RGBs are visible to the naked eye as the milky, semi-translucent ring dilutes the light hard enough. To make the fan look good from both sides, we also got the same type of rounded cutout that are shining through the back of the fan. Overall, a hell of a good look. On the build quality side, I would actually describe it as being a small tick better than the 120mm counterpart. We still got that really sturdy frame with all of the rubber screw holes and the bequiet logo and all of that good stuff. But just working with it, I immediately noticed that the 140mm form factor definitely had a positive improvement on those. Whereas most fans out there will start to feel, you know, a bit weak, let's say like the frame will start to become a bit movable. On here, however, you can still slam in freaking nails with them. They are very well made. With the secret hammer function covered here, let's take a look at what's actually important, benchmarks. Using the Lightwings 140s, the CPU stayed at a cozy 50 degrees C above ambient. This makes perfect sense. They are 6 degrees ahead of the smaller 120mm Lightwings, and they are between 6 and 8 degrees between the higher speed versions, which also makes absolute sense. Comparing them to other fans built for similar use cases, we have for example Arctic's F14 that managed to be 2 degrees in front of them. Very interesting so far, but not at all conclusive as its noise to performance, where bequiet usually separates the good from the bad. Here the image changed completely. Here the Lightwings 140s managed to beat the crap out of all of the other fans. Let's start with the regular 140s versus regular 120s. Here we can see that the 140s were better in every category. Noise, performance, whatever, beating the crap out of them. But it's the comparison to the high-speed versions that really shook me. While it's true that both the 120 high-speed and 140 high-speed are definitely achieving better brute force results, it was shocking to see that as soon as you just turn down that fan speed until their performance is equalized, the regular 140s will dominate the whole thing until the very end. In fact, the Lightwing 140s will be at the very top of the list for almost the entire benchmark. Just that little tip at the high speed is missing. To make matters worse, the Lightwing 140 high speed is a complete disappointment here. Although it can push a hell lot of air at max speed, while doing so it is so freaking loud that comparing it to a regular 140 becomes kind of a joke. So where does all of this leave us? Well, this is one heck of a ride. Unlike what we saw with the smaller 120mm Lightwings, the 140s are a completely different thing. For those, bequiets seem to have found a perfect middle ground between speed and airflow, static pressure and noise, and all of that, which in the end ended up them dominating the noise to performance benchmark chart. And it was quite a shocking result. Although the slow 140s only scored the second last place of all of the Lightwings, they pretty much dominated the noise to performance comparison for like 90% of the time. So in my opinion, as for case fans, out of all of the existing Lightwings, the regular 140s are by far the best option. Comparing them closely to any other one, they are better than the 120s, and the noise trade-off that comes with the 120 high speeds is just not worth it. Not even talking about the massacre that created the 140mm high speeds. In the end, somebody did something very right, and bequiet managed to find an excellent balance that squeezed every last bit of performance out of this, kind of old belay design, but it is keeping up with the very best bequiet fans right now, so good job there. On the price side, we here in Europe can get a triple pack of those for something between 52 and 59 euros, making it less than 20 euros per fan. While in the US you can get the same pack for about 85, making it like 28 per fan. Whilst considering the quality, RGB implementation, sturdiness and especially noise to performance, it is very much alright. So from our side, it's an absolute recommendation, and if you are about to decide for a case fan between all of the existing Lightwings, the 140s are definitely the best way to go. A small critique, however, that I do want to point out is the too quick confusion created by the high speed and non-high speed naming scheme. The problem here is that the names suggest that it is just a quicker version of the same fan, whereas in actuality the 140mm regular fan is meant specifically for case fans, or it is airflow focused, while the high speed version is specifically made for static pressure focused operations like radiators, like heat sinks. So those are two completely separate use cases, and they should be distinguishable, whereas right now you just believe that it is speed that changes, but it is not. But okay, this should be it for our take on the bequiet Lightwings 140s. At this point, a huge thank you to bequiet for sending them over, and if you want to keep watching, have a look at one of the other Lightwing reviews, because I'm unsure in which release order we will release them, but there are quite a lot right now already. On a side note, we also have channel memberships now, so if you are looking for a good way to sell your soul for an RG poop emoji, well, that's a pretty good way to go. Additionally, you can rest assured that the income will not only keep the channel afloat, but it will also make sure that my blood caffeine level will stay at exactly 10.2 grams per liter, cause that's the sweet spot to keep me going. Anyway, thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.